The site's approximately 36 acres. It's located south and east of Four Winds Boulevard and west of West Earl Bronson Memorial Highway and north of Warren Brown Road. The future land use designation on the property is tourist commercial. The zoning designation, agricultural development, conservation, and estate development zoning district.
Thank you very much. Good evening, commissioners, staff, and citizens of Osceola County. Thank you for your time this evening. We have been collaborating with the neighbors of Four Winds Boulevard for the last year. In this last year, we have held multiple community meetings to discuss the overall neighborhood concerns, and we have listened.
I've emailed everybody on this board except the county attorney and the county manager regarding this development that possibly could go in. But as far as rezoning, I don't see the purpose of rezoning that piece of property. It is a gorgeous little pristine swamp, if you will, with a great variety of animals that live there. We marvel at every day. We had a bald eagle in there the other day. We're enjoying that. It is our wonderful little thing that drops all of our cares off on the way to our homes. We come down that road and we're surrounded by nature.
Be a nuisance where it counts, but don't be a bore at any time. Do your part to inform and stimulate the public to join your action. Be depressed, discouraged, and disappointed at failure and disheartening effects of ignorance, greed, corruption, and bad politics, but never give up. A famous quote by Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the woman who defended the Everglades. While our swamp might not be as grand, I believe she stands with us to protect it from the effects the rezoning would cause by developments of any kind at all. Because like the Everglades, our swamp is a beautiful ecosystem that should be protected. After all, we have all been witness to several protected and endangered species: gopher tortoises, sandhill cranes, several species of woodpecker, including one of the biggest woodpeckers in the world, in the country, the pileated woodpecker, blue-tailed skinks, and on occasion we are visited by bald eagles. At a meeting in April held between our neighborhoods and the developers, their professional said he found no traces of any endangered or protected species. If that's the case, then all those creatures that we've seen must have just been a figment of our imagination.
So we're just here to talk about zoning and nothing else. We're going to pretend that there's no development plans that have been submitted, because that's how you guys feel. There's no development plans that have been submitted. At our meetings, they have showed us what their plans are. So I'm a little confused as to why they wouldn't share with you guys what they're doing.
But anyway, so this is from him, and I'm reading it because it's clearing up a lot of things about the original development that have been told that aren't true by people who weren't there and don't have any history here like some of us do. All right, it says, from David in Houston. To whom it may concern, my name is David Hamilton. I was the original developer of the Four Winds subdivision. This property was owned by a group of people who I remember being from Illinois. The point man for the group and the only person I ever met or spoke with was a man named Bob Lips. They originally had some sort of plan for the property, but once they bought it upon investigation, they did not feel it was economically possible to do what they had intended to do with the property.
Orlando Sentinel, 6/17/14. The article read, last century in Florida,
Thank you.
a pattern was established. We fouled the land, and then we spent millions.
So we'll go ahead and bring it back to the board. Commissioner Choudhry, your light's on.
Yes, thank you so much. First, I wanted to thank all the residents for coming out here and sticking with it. I know that there's been a couple of meetings you guys mentioned that you attended, and thanks for staying engaged. That's the first comment I had. But I wanted to let you all know I went into detail with our county staff, and I wanted our county staff to come back up and kind of explain some of the points that I went over with you regarding some of the questions actually that I see that I've heard here in the comments. I also want to explain that I too understand, living in a rural area myself and having development built all around me, I understand the issues when it comes with the environment, the water. I too have well water. So I understand the concerns that all of you have. And so in this position, I've got to look and see, making sure that whatever is being done, obviously, is not going to be affecting the environment, the water, and all of that, especially with the surrounding residents in the area. In doing so also, I make sure that one of the things since taking office was always to say, okay, I know we have to grow, but we got to be smart about it with managing our growth. So what does that mean, right? That means looking into every single development that comes forward in the district and saying, okay, does this make sense? Is everything being followed? Are we taking away rights that we shouldn't? What opportunities do we have to make it manageable and correct and work collaboratively? For some of you that might have heard or not heard, there's been developments in my district that I brought forward to our commission, and it's been like always trying to coordinate, whether it was with the HOAs and the development, to try to work collaboratively together because something could be built there. And so I try to explain, let's take the opportunity to get what we want to see there, as opposed to not working with development and just argue the matter and then perhaps losing in the end. Going back to all of us, I know are concerned, obviously, making sure that any development that comes in is doing everything correctly done. And of course, providing that we understand that development is going to happen, but it's got to be managed and correctly done. I want to thank some of you that had the passion to come here, but more importantly, to continue working with me on this development, because what's going to end up happening, as you hear today, zoning is different than an actual permitting for coming to development. There's still opportunities to make sure that what's going to be around you is going to be something that at least you could live with, right? Because there's development around me, I can tell you, I can't always live with, but we have to kind of work together and make sure that it's feasible within our community. So Commission, again, I've worked extensively on this, and I've been wanting to make sure that we covered all bases. And like Commissioner Janer said, it is the zoning. So I'll move to approve the zoning today with the understanding I'll be working with the Commission.
Wow. Those for you next time.
All right, seeing none, all those in favor state by saying aye. Aye, opposed? Motion passes unanimously.